Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome to the 33rd episode of the 3 a.m. Knitter podcast. My name is Anne and I'm coming to you from the North Shore of Nova Scotia, Canada. And I am so thrilled to be here with you today. So if this is your first time here, a very, very warm welcome to you. I hope that you enjoy and will consider liking and subscribing to the podcast because of course that is how we grow the channel. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you again. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping as always. You can find me on Instagram as 3 a.m. Knitter. My Facebook page is 3 a.m. Knitter. I know that's no surprise. I have a Ravelry group called the 3 a.m. Knitter. I know that's a shock that it's the same name, but there you go. Website is the3amknitter.weebly.com. You can find a whole host of information there. We'll be taking a look at that in just one sec. And my email address is 3amknitter@gmail.com. And if you need to send me something in the post, my snail mail address is down below in the description box. I also put out a newsletter that I endeavor to get out every month, once a month. Usually around the first of the month. So if you'd like to subscribe to the newsletter, there's a link down below as well where you can do that. And the newsletter just gives you information about upcoming episodes, pattern releases, workshops, and a whole host of other things that may be of interest to you as a knitter. So that is it for housekeeping. All right, let's jump right into announcements. So I have 3 announcements for you today. The first 2 you have heard before, but I am going to take this opportunity to remind you about them. Let me just Okay, so I am this year hosting the 2024 East Coast Sock Club, which is a 4 sock pattern club that offers you patterns that have to do with East Coast of Canada. So the first pattern has already been released. It was released back in March, the Atlantic Breeze socks. And the second pattern, the Maple Harbor socks, is due to release next month, June the 15th. So if you would like to jump on board and get yourself signed up for the East Coast 2024 East Coast Sock Club, you can pop over to the website, and that's what the website looks like. At the side here, or at the top if you're using a computer, you'll see that there's a link for the 2024 Sock Club. And then on that page, it gives you all the information. It gives you all the important dates. And of course, it gives you the link to get yourself signed up. So if you are signing up before June the 15th, you will automatically be sent a information page and the first pattern, and then on June the 15th the second pattern will automatically be sent to you, and the subsequent 2 patterns throughout the year will be sent to you as well. There's hashtags included in the information page that I would very much appreciate you using on your social media if you do knit the socks. And that's all I have to say about that. So it's not too late for you to get on board. Just hop on over to the website and get yourself signed up. Okay, second announcement, there we go. So again, on the website, there is a link called Workshops and Retreats. And if you click on that, you'll come to the page that tells you all about the upcoming workshop, the Design Your Own Sweater, Dipping Your Toe into the Percentage Method. So this is an interactive workshop that I'm hosting on May the 29th. It's a Wednesday from 7 until 9 p.m. Atlantic time. If you're in the Eastern time zone, that would be 6 to 8 Eastern. And we'll be coming together in the Zoom 3 a.m. Knitter Zoom room, and we will be jumping in with both feet, as it were, to learn how to create a recipe to knit a sweater that fits you. So there is some pre-work that should be done for this. So because we are coming together on the 29th, there's still lots of time for you to get yourself signed up and get the pre-work done. The pre-work is simply a swatch. So it won't take you that long to do it. And then we will jump right in when we come together on the 29th in the 3 a.m. Knitter Zoom room. So the other thing that I want to tell you about this workshop is that I will be recording it. So even if you can't attend live, that's okay. If you sign up for the workshop, I will send you the recording and you can work through all of the work. And then about a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks, I haven't firmed up the date yet, but after the workshop, I'm going to offer a 45-minute, 60-minute Q&A session where if you have questions, I will be jumping into my Zoom room and you can come on into the Zoom room and review any questions or any challenges that came up for you, or just come back in and show us your progress on your sweater. So, so again, Wednesday the 29th, 7 until 9 p.m. Atlantic, design your own sweater, dipping your toe into the percentage method. So I would love to see you join us. I think there are 12 of us already who are registered, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you all on the 29th. Okay, one final announcement. Oh shoot, hang on just one sec. I just have to pop right over here to my table. I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but I am doing a needle destash. Just like every other knitter, I have a plethora of needles that I've collected over the years, some of which are good, some are, you know, and by good I mean I use all the time, some of which I used all the time until I bought new ones, you know, that kind of thing. And so these needles, or also needles that I have tried that just aren't for me. So I've decided to destash them. So in my Instagram feed, I did make a post, but I'm just going to quickly review that with you in case, where are we? So these needles I will ship to you anywhere at your expense from Nova Scotia. So just bear in mind that if you are international, the cost of shipping might be a little dear, but I will do my best to make sure that I choose the cheapest amount. I generally don't ship with insurance, but if you want insurance, I will do that because you're paying for shipping. So here we go. The first set that I have are these Kollage DPNs. They are in the size 5.5 millimeter or US 9. They're metal, they're square. They, you know, they're interesting. Kollage has like a little ruler. I don't know if you can see that, little hash marks on the needles that are great for measuring, etc., etc. These needles just aren't for me. I tried them. They're just not for me. So these ones I'm selling for $10. I've used them one time. So a set of 5 DPNs. They are 7-inch, 17 centimeters. Okay. Next I have Addi Turbo fixed circs. This one here, what order am I doing these in? This one here is a 2.75. It doesn't have the US size on there. They're 12-inch, 30 centimeters. And, you know, a lot of people use these for socks and things like that. I've tried them a few times and they're just not for me. So, Addi Turbo, 12-inch, 2.75 millimeter US, I don't know what that, US 1 maybe? It doesn't say. So $10 for that one. Oh, and by the way, all of these amounts are in Canadian dollars. I also have another Addi Turbo, 30-inch or 30 centimeter, 12-inch, 3.5 millimeter needle, US 4. So there's that. Fixed circular, and that's $10 too. And then finally, I have a entire set of Addi needles. So these are the Addi Click Lace, and it comes in the brown case, has the zipper at the back to hold all your cords. And if you open it up, oops. So these are just the pamphlets and what have you that came with the set. This is your little needle gauge. There's a little heart charm that's on there. And I even still have the what do you call this? Who it was packed by. Don't know if that. So full set, they're nickel plated. There's an extender piece here. So this set ranges from size 3.5 millimeter all the way up to 8 millimeter. So 3.5, 3.75, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, and 8, or US 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Cords I have 40 centimeters, 50 centimeters, 60 and 100, or 16 inch, 20 inch, 24 and 40. I think I have another cord too, but I woke up early this morning and had this epiphany of where I could find this other cord. So there may be another cord. Now, there's one thing that I want to just point out about this set. It's a great set. It's just not for me anymore because I use chai glue now. So one of the cords, and this is not unusual, hang on, so little cord, it's this one here. Is it this one? Yeah. So this cord here, no, so Addi's, you know, I've tried to straighten them out, but I can't. So this cord here has, can you see right here? It has just a little bit of a flex to it. It doesn't cause any problem with your knitting. I just wanted to point that out to you, just so you know that there is just a wee bit of a bend. Now, I have heard, I've not tried this, but I've heard if you heat up these cords in hot water, you can straighten them out, but I personally haven't tried that. So I'm asking $100 Canadian for this set, okay? So there is a post on my Instagram about it. I will link to the post in the notes below. If you are interested or you have any questions, send me a DM, let me know, and I'd be happy to chat with you about that. So that's my needle Destash. Okay, let's jump into whips. Let's do it. Whip number one, my book club shawl. So I am knitting up the Storm Bay shawl by Lisa Much. And let me just give you so that's the Storm Bay shawl. So garter stitch at the top there, and then a little bit of a garter stitch and almost like a feather and fan, but not quite, on the other colors. I am using leftover Frankie Gray fiber DK that I had in stash, and some other things that I had in stash. So I'm almost done. Oops, I'm all tangled up. Shoot, should have had this ready. Okay, so this is being housed in one of my Be By Design bags, the lovely Bridget from Ontario, my favorite bag maker. So a nice cork bottom, beautiful canvas fabric, and the cork handles. There's a pocket on the inside. I love her bags. I have many of them. Okay, so let me just pull this a bit. I'm not going to be able to give you the full effect of this because it's on, the needles are too short. So here I am. I've used the Frankie Gray Fiber DK Sand Dollar. and then Frankie Gray fiber, I think that's Cape Cod, and then Delphinium, and then this darker blue here. I was kind of hoping to use the Midnight in that, but I didn't have enough, so I'm using just this ball of superwash in this darker blue color that I had in my stash. And then I will be finishing it off in this kind of back to the neutral, but this has got blues and yellows, and I think against the blue, it's gonna really pick it up. So I've got about half of this, oopsie, half of this darker blue color to finish, and then one more repeat in that neutral color, and then that will be off my needles and ready to block. So I'm looking forward to getting that finished because I want to have that shawl for, you know, an evening by the fire kind of shawl, you know what I mean? Just something to wrap around me so I'm not running into the house. But originally, let's see, originally I was knitting up a different shawl for this book club. It just wasn't bringing me joy. So off the needles it came, and on the needles came the Storm Bay shawl. So that is, again, as I say, by Lisa Much. There is 31 projects on Ravelry. It was released back in 2019, and it uses about 695 meters total, or 760 yards. Now the pattern calls for 5 colors, but I mean, you could do it in as many colors as you wanted, but because I had a bunch of, you know, blues and complementary colors in my stash, I just decided to go with the 5 colors. So that's work in progress number 1. Work in progress number 2. Oh, good gosh. Oh no, there it is. My May socks for my 12 pairs in 12 months that I'm working on, I will be knitting up, you know, okay. I'm calling this a work in progress because I haven't actually cast it on yet for the socks, but I've got everything ready. So it's just a matter of getting the cast on done, right? So May's pattern is the ripple wave socks. And you may recall that I have to own the pattern already. I have to work from stash, etc. So the ripple wave socks is by Kate Laurie or Lore Designs. Oops, let me make that full screen so you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So that's the idea of those socks. There it is in a lighter color. So you see it's got kind of like a ripply, apparently I'm on a ripple phase right now. So that is that, and sorry, as I reach down, I will be knitting those out of this. Oh gosh. This is Mystery Fingering. Got some stellina in it. I don't know if you can pick up the stellina. A little bit there, yeah. So it's that's better. So it's got some purples and some browns and things like that. So it's in a bag. I'm all ready. Oh, got a little fly flying around here. Spring has sprung. So that is work in progress number 2. Sorry, you guys. You know what? Like, I'm growing out my hair, and it's at that stage where it's like all over the place. It's driving me batty, but anyway. Okay, I digress. Work in progress number 3. I am working on a crochet project for my membership, the Circle. We're doing a knit, crochet, anything along. And I am knitting or crocheting a bag. Where is the page? Open. There we go. So I'm basing it off this pattern right here. This is a free pattern that you can get on this person's website. This is Annie Design Crochet. So I'm basing it on this, and I'm using acrylic for it. I will line it with some, I don't know, some canvas or something that I have laying around, even if I have to double up some cotton or something like that. So I am doing the bottom part the same as the pattern. So I'm using 6 colors, single crochet, and I'm just repeating it. So I still have a little bit of ways to go, but I kind of stopped here. So that's gonna be, close. So that's gonna be the bottom part and the sides. And then instead of the granny squares, what I have decided is I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the same 6 colors, and I'm going to border them in this teal. And then, bear with me if I can, and then that, let me see if I can flip that around. So it's gonna go in the opposite direction. At least that's the theory. So I'm gonna keep working on that and see how that works. If this is a big flop, I'll just go back to the granny square. Now, the thing about the granny squares in the pattern is it has these kind of like popcorny kind of thing. I'm not down for that. So if I revert back to the granny square, I think I will find a different crochet flower pattern that doesn't have that popcorn kind of like puffiness. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I'm slowly working through that. We are working on our knit crochet anything along until June, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's projects because we're all doing something really different. So it's a great amount of fun. We talk about it during our knit nights and things like that. So that has been great fun. Whoops. All right. Next, final work in progress project. So you may have seen on my Instagram feed, if you follow me there, that for LYS Day, I purchased some, good Lord, some Gots to Have It Merino from Natural Ewe Yarns My LYS in the Clementine colorway. There it is, caked up. So I bought 3 skeins of this, and I was messaging with Andrea, who is the dyer at Natural Ewe, last Thursday, because it was our get-together knit night here in Pictou, Nova Scotia. So I said to her, hey, when we go to knit night, can you bring my yarn? She said, absolutely. Oh, by the way, there's 1 more skein left in Clementine. And that's all she said. So of course I bought it, right? So I have 4 skeins now. But look at that. Isn't that something else? It's so beautiful. So of course I cast it on right away, or started swatching right away. And the swatch kind of led to, more than a swatch, but that's all right. So I cast it on the Tin Can Knits Low Tide Cardigan. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that really well with the light. Beautiful design. So this is one of the back pieces. Oh, left front, or it's the front. Yeah. So in my haste, sometimes I read ahead. So I've got the other the other side, the other front side here. In my haste to get knitting, I misread the pattern on that first piece. And after you cast on, you're supposed to knit a bunch of rows before you start the chart. And of course on this one, I didn't do that. So once I finish this side, I have to pick up this bound off edge and actually do the proper amount of knit rows. So I'm enjoying this knit so far. It was really meant to just be a swatch, but I can't help myself because this yarn is just, it's so soft already, and I'm knitting it up so quickly because of course it's a tin can knits pattern, so you just can't go wrong with a tin can knits pattern, can you? So anyhow, I will let you know how that goes in upcoming weeks because I don't imagine it will take me very long to get that one finished up. But the good thing is it's a pattern that I already owned in my library. So it's not like I had to purchase the pattern as well as the yarn. That just sounded like a massive massive justification for buying yarn. Anyway. Okay, so those are the works in progress. Now, what do I have for you next? All right, let's talk about finished objects, which I'm wearing. All right, so this, my friends, is, I already talked about that. This is the Agave top by Yumiko Alexander. So let me just push my chair in here, back up a bit. Now, I have to reblock this because I'm getting some curling. So I went with the flutter sleeve, as you can see. The flutter sleeve is so fun. It's loose. You don't seam it up all the way, so it just kind of flutters a little bit, hence the name. Beautiful floral motif. You can see that it does need a little bit of blocking again. And if you look here, so let me see if I can just come a little bit closer so you can, so if you look, let's try this side here. So I seamed this using mattress stitch, and oh, I'm always fascinated by mattress stitch because you can't see where the seam is. So you see this beautiful floral motif on the front and on the back. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this top. So I casted this on May the 1st and I finished it on May the 12th. I could not put it down. I used, let's see, this is the size large. I used yarn that I purchased at Sisterhood Fibers in Truro, Nova Scotia when I was on my way to the retreat that I went to in March. This is Mirasol yarn, Mirasol Winku, I think that's how you say it, W-I-N-Q-U. I used, for the size large, I use 4.5 skeins or 832.5 yards, 761 meters, 450 grams. This is, bear with me, gauge 15.5 stitches, 23 rows to 10 centimeters in stockinette. There was something else I was going to tell you about this yarn. Oh yes, 25% cotton, 15% silk. So it's lovely. It's lovely. So basically, I think that you could adapt this pattern very easily for any yarn, really. I mean, you know, I may be speaking out of turn, but there it is. So again, this is the Agave, A-G-A-V-E, by Yumiko Alexander. There's 116 projects on Ravelry, mine being one of them. Lots of people have knit this in linen. It would be beautiful in linen. It is a paid for pattern, $12.79 Canadian or $9 US. So there's the Ravelry page. So again, you know me and a layering piece. I love a layering piece. So this is going to be perfect for, you know, around this time of year or in the fall. I think it might be a little heavy for summer, but so far I love it. I am going to throw it back on the blocking board just to straighten out this little pucker here and to get rid of this roll in the bottom. The hem kind of rolled up a little bit, and I want that to be just a wee bit flatter. So super duper happy, really quick knit. Would recommend the pattern. It just is the best pattern that I've had. One more thing, bear with me just 1 second, please. I know that I wanted to mention to you about another not finished object, but new to me piece. You guys all know how much I absolutely adore supporting local makers. And I have met the most incredible local maker named Pam. Her business is called Peaceful Designs. And you can find her on Instagram. I will link to her down below. Peaceful Designs is her business. So, whoops, I guess you can't. So that, she's over there. So I saw her, I follow her on Instagram. I saw her post some of her new pieces, and I knew instantly that I had to make one of those pieces mine. So I treated myself to this thing of beauty. Would you just look at that? So copper chain, copper wiring. This is driftwood. Oh, look at little gem at the bottom there. Isn't that gorgeous? So what Pam does is she creates one-of-a-kind jewelry, one-of-a-kind pieces or wearable art inspired by the beaches of Nova Scotia. So, you know, for example, this driftwood she found on the beach and incorporates that into her pieces. So each piece is beautifully unique, and they're the kind of pieces that when you see them, they know that, you know, when you see a piece, you automatically know that that's the piece for you, right? So I encourage you, sorry, it's allergy season, I got a really itchy nose. I encourage you to go check out her work. She has this beautiful Instagram page where, like, look at that. Oh, so beautiful. And even this one, look at that one. The texture of the materials that she's using. So beautiful. Oh, look, there's the piece I'm wearing. So I encourage you to go and check out her Instagram page. Take a look at her work. You can reach out to her on Instagram if you see something that intrigues you, and she will for sure get in contact with you right away. But yeah, so this is a beautiful piece from my wonderful new friend Pam from Peaceful Designs. Oh, so nice. I'm so happy about it. Okay, what's up next? I told you about this one before. I have not cast on yet because I jumped right into the Tin Can Knits pattern, but I am looking forward to casting on the Autumn Leaves linear top. So this is a free pattern on Ravelry. So I'm just going to show you this. So it's 2 rectangles with a little bit of lace. That looks like, oh yeah, some lace at the bottom, but not so much. And it's like a swancho, a shawl, poncho, swancho, ponchal. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. And of course, you will recall I am going to use my new Kollage soft sock in the daffodil colorway. So this is 80/20 merino nylon, 400 meters, 436 yards, daffodil from Sarnia, Ontario. That's her logo. I'll link to her down below as well. So what can I tell you about that pattern? Did I? Yes, I did. 4 and 4.5 millimeters or US 6 and 7 needles for this project. It's an older pattern, March 2015. It is free. Here's a close-up of the lace work. So it's not complicated lace work. So I would say that this is a great project for somebody who is new to lace work. There's 176 projects on Ravelry. Just 2 rectangles, suitable as an introduction to lace. For advanced beginners, it will become your favorite for in-between seasons. So again, another one of those great layering pieces that I like. And I like that it's kind of poncho style because I think that it stays on better than just a shawl or a stole, right? So I'm looking forward to knitting that up. And there we go. Yeah. So this will be my first time knitting with Kollage apparel yarns. So update to follow on that, but I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. So that is next. Okay, dream knitting. So dream knitting number 1 is the Art Nouveau cardigan by Eleanor Mordison. I don't know if you have seen this. It was on the Ravelry front pattern page for me the other day, and I fell instantly in love. So it's a shorter body, but I guess you could make it longer if you desired. There you go. Oh, there we go. It is a paid for pattern. It is $8.48 Canadian or 5.50 euros. Fingering weight, that's okay, I love it. 9 sizes. I'm just trying to, 9 sizes, ranging from 1,100 to 1,800 meters of yarn, 3.5 and 3 millimeter needles. So a little bit of a slog for knit because it is fingering weight on smaller needles, but I really do like it. It's a new pattern. It was only just published this month, but there are already 22 projects on Ravelry. I'm sure that some of them were the test knits. Yes, looks like it. So little dream knitting. I think I probably have enough stash to do that, but I really would like to get those other projects underway first. And then when I saw this come across my feed the other day, the first thing I thought of was Matthew, the fairy godfather, and his love for the emotional support chicken. And I need to message him to ask him about this. So this is a new pattern by Chloe Duperon, and it is a paid for pattern, $3.86 Canadian, $2.50 euros. And it is the shearable sheep pattern. I kid you not. I can't even with this. So look at the top picture, little sheep, and then you pull off the wool. He's a sheared sheep. Is that not the most adorable? Oh, look at, they're playing. Oh, look at their yarns up there. Oh, I am dying over this pattern. The shearable sheep pattern. All body parts of the sheep are knit in the round in stockinette stitch using magic loop and sewn together afterwards. The fleece is knit flat in garter stitch except for the tail. The pattern uses simple stitches, toy stuffing you need, pins, etc., etc. Finish size, 6.5 inches tall, 8 inches long, or 17 centimeters tall and 20 centimeters long. It is the shearable sheep. There's already 23, oh no, that's comments. One person has it in progress. It's such a scream, this pattern. Just like, so see this, a little closer there. And now look. Oh, oops, sorry. So again, there he is with his wool on. There he is with the wool off. Isn't that adorable? So the shearable sheep. So that's kind of a dream knitting thing to me too, because sometimes you just need a small little project, right? And I mean, you could use scraps for that if you wanted. And then finally, I know I've been walking away a lot here on this episode. I'm terribly sorry about that, but many, many years ago, I went to Rhinebeck, either Rhinebeck or Maryland Sheep and Wool. I can't remember which one, with my knitting BFF, Anne, and I purchased this book, The Enchanted Soul. And this is by Janelle Laidman, and she lives in Oregon, or at least she did at the time. So The Enchanted Soul, Legendary Socks for Adventurous Knitters. I bought this when I was not a sock knitter. I bought it because of the patterns in it. I was intrigued, but was not at the time a good enough sock knitter to tackle any of them. But now I feel that, you know, I've reached that place that I could probably knit these. And I'm not going to show you all of the patterns in here because there are so many. I encourage you to go look up the book if you desire. I will link to it down below. But sorry, I'm just looking for the, oh, it must be at the back. So the book includes a glossary. It includes a number of tutorials in it, or, you know, picture how-tos, those kinds of things. But here is one of the pairs. This is called the Tree of Life. You can see that colorwork sock. This is one that I think I would like to tackle. And then there was one more that I wanted to show you that I think I would also like to tackle. Maybe when I go on vacation this summer and have, you know, some really solid time to sit and knit where I'm not interrupted, you know, for long periods of time. Oh, did I pass it? Should have put a little pixie. No, there it is. This one here is called Labyrinth. Look at the color work up here in the leg and even in the toe. Oh, so the patterns are charted. So you do have to know how to read a chart for these patterns. But again, I think that I'm ready to try some of these patterns. So on the back, it reads, once upon a time, sock knitters yearned for legendary patterns fit for queens and pixies and alchemists, yet still wearable for the modern adventurer. Then along came a designer who understood this yearning, and the enchanted soul was born with 20 legendary sock patterns, sure to please every adventurer on your list. There you go. So, don't know when I will cast on any of these patterns, but I'll keep you updated on it as I work through. We'll see, but it is in my dream knitting. All right, friends, finally we come to Knitter's Oracle time. So let me grab the cards. I'll give them a little shuffle. All right. And what do we have today? The sticky note. The sticky note. Oops, there we go. The sticky note card is all about communication, especially written. Letters, paperwork, an email, or text message all fall under the sticky notes domain. It can cover anything from an important conversation or an act of self-expression to boring but crucial paperwork. The sticky note just wants you to keep an eye out for a valuable transmission. The sticky note. Email, text, or message. Important conversation, act of self-expression to boring but crucial paperwork. Boring but crucial paperwork. All right. So I'm just pulling out this pattern. No, don't have that one. I don't have that one. So I'll just pull out this one as an example. So here, I use sticky notes everywhere. Whoops. I use them to keep track. I use them to make notes on the pattern, 64 rows, and on a wrong side row. I use sticky notes everywhere. If you could see in front of me, I have sticky notes all over the place. I love sticky notes. I do use them for crucial paperwork. I mean, how much more crucial is a pattern when you're knitting? Just wants you to keep an eye out for a valuable transmission. It can cover anything from an important conversation or act of self-expression to boring but self-expression. Well, I've kind of talked to you about this before in that, you know, a lot of people use electronic counters now or trackers, or they're using an electronic journal or things like that. I'm all about the pen and the paper. I'm all about, I mean, not only does this help me keep information that I'm using or that I'm needing for the pattern, I also use it as a ruler, right? So it's multifaceted. What do you use sticky notes for? Do you use them in your knitting? How do you use them in your knitting? Do they help you? Do they help you keep track of crucial points of a pattern? Or are you just using them as, here, I'm on this row, that kind of thing? Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think about written communication. I have a yearning to go back to that time where we sent letters to each other, like in the mail, right? Not emails, not text messages, not, you know, DMs, actual letters. I have a yearning to have that, like the old, I'm going to date myself, but like a pen pal, right? Remember when we used to have pen pals? Did you ever have a pen pal? I love the fact that people take the time to sit down and actually write something to me. Maybe we should start a pen pal group. What do you think? Would you be interested in that? The 3 a.m. Knitter pen pal group? I'm going to post about that. Let me know. Send me a comment below if you'd be interested in that, and I'll gather up some names, and maybe I'll create a Google Doc or something. And I mean, listen to me, I'll create a Google Doc, and we'll sign up to become pen pals. Let me know. The written word is very important. Keeps us connected in more ways than one. So, all right, friends, that is it for this episode of the 3 a.m. Knitter podcast. I hope that you have enjoyed your time with me. I look forward to hearing about what you're knitting. Please remember to register for the workshop on the 29th, dipping your toe in the percentage method, learning how to use a swatch and a favorite sweater in your closet to create a sweater recipe just for you that actually fits the way you like a sweater to fit. I would love to have you join us, and I look forward to releasing the next 2024 East Coast Sock Club pattern. So jump on board for that as well. All right, that's it for now. Take good care, keep knitting, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.